All right. So thank you all for watching another Authors Impact Hub webinar. So tonight we are talking about unlocking your reader base, identifying your target audience for maximum impact. So really quick, I am your host, Juanita Woodson, the author. I'm an author, publisher, mom, wife, and the founder of the Authors Impact Hub on Facebook, a growing community where writers connect, inspire, and transform. So I'm super excited to be able to bring you these free monthly webinars so that you can continue to grow and make an impact and see profits with your author brand. All right, so tonight we are talking about the importance of identifying and engaging and connecting with your target audience. So understanding your target audience is the foundation of every successful book, right? When you know who you're writing for, your words become more than just stories. They become a mirror reflecting the hopes, dreams, and challenges of those who need them most. And when you're writing a book, that's actually when you start to think about who your target audience is. You don't identify that after the book is done. You think about that before your book is published through the writing process. But it's okay if you didn't take that step. There are still ways that you can identify your target audience or ideal reader after your book is published. So we'll talk a little bit about that. All right, so defining your target audience. So a target audience is a specific group of people that a business, content creator, or organization aims to reach with its products, services, or messages. This group is categorized by shared characteristics such as demographics, interests, and behaviors, which make them more likely to be interested in and engage with what is being offered. Okay. So here's what you'll learn. Defining your audience, tailoring your content, engaging with your audience. All right. So the importance of defining your target audience. So defining your target audience is one of the most critical steps an author can take toward achieving success. And I did talk about that just a couple seconds ago, right? When you know who your audience is, who your ideal reader is before you even reach the publishing, part of it will help you with the marketing. So you do want to know who your ideal reader is when you're going through the writing process. And I think that's, a webinar we'll do at a later date if you ever decide to write another book. All right. So first, identifying your target audience, it brings focus and clarity. So knowing exactly who your audience is allows you to focus your writing and marketing efforts with precision. So instead of trying to appeal to everyone, you can create content that speaks directly to the needs, interests, and desires of your ideal reader. This clarity ensures that your message resonates most deeply with those most likely to connect with your work. Okay, so enhance reader connection also, right? So when you understand your target audience, you can tailor your content to address their specific challenges, goals, and aspiration. This personalized approach fosters a stronger emotional connection with your readers, and it makes them feel seen, valued, right? You want and validated and understood. As a result, they're more likely to become loyal fans who anticipate what is coming out next. Right. So it also helps with effective marketing. So a well-defined target audience is the foundation of a successful marketing strategy. So if you look at it in the terms of starting a business, right, uh you don't identify who your target audience is after you build the Walmart, right? Or after you build the Target or after you start the publishing company, right? So you think about who your audience is when you're in the initial stages of building that business or brand. And by knowing who your readers are, you can choose the right channels, craft compelling messages, and design campaigns that effectively reach and engage with them. Right. So then go into content relevance right there. So understanding your audience ensures that your content remains relevant and valuable to them. Whether you're writing a new book, creating a blog post, or sharing your social media, you can ensure that your content addresses the specific needs and preferences of your readers. It also helps you with making informed decisions, right? So when you think about marketing, you think about money that you have to pour into your brand or your book. So it helps with making informed decisions. So with a clearer picture of your target audience, you can make those informed decisions about everything from your book theme, cover design, pricing, distribution channels. The audience driven approach helps you align your work with the expectations and preferences of your reader, ultimately leading to better reception and greater success. Okay, and then last but not least, it helps you build a loyal reader base, right? So defining your target audience is the first step toward building a community of loyal readers, right? So when readers feel that the work is tailored to them, they're more likely to engage with you, participate in your community, and recommend your work also to others. So over time, you are building a loyal reader base, and that becomes a powerful asset that supports your ongoing success as an author. All right, so when you think about defining your audience, you think about the demographics, right? So that is, when you think about demographics, that's basically like who they are, what age are they, what is their gender. Psychographics, so you think about what are their personality traits, right? And then behavioral traits. What type of books do they like to read? Where do they hang out? Where do they spend their time? So this is how you define your audience, and I'll share an example of what that looks like. All right, so this is an exercise that you can do to help you define your audience. So you would jot the basic idea, jot down the basic details of your reader. So you would think about their age, gender, location, who they are on the surface. And then the next one is, what are their interests, values, and challenges? Write down like the first things that come to mind when you think about who your ideal reader is. So what are their values? What are their interests? What challenges do they face? Okay. And then last but not least, what are their reading habits? How do they make decisions about what to buy or read? Okay. So this will help you define, and you can write this out. This will help you to actually define who your audience is. Okay, so after you know, okay, this is my audience. My audience is Sally. She's a 20-year-old mother, and she hangs out on Instagram, and she likes to read books that help her to manage her time more effectively so that she can show up and be the best mom possible. Right. So that's what comes to mind when I think about my target audience. So then once you know that, then you can tailor your content to your specific audience, right? So tailoring your content is essential for building a strong connection with your audience by customizing your messages, stories, and materials to meet the specific needs and preferences of your target audience. You can engage with them more effectively and encourage loyalty. Okay, so increased engagement, right? So content tailored to your audience's needs and preferences is more likely to capture their interest and keep them engaged. When content speaks directly to their challenges and goals, readers are more inclined to interact with you. So, for an example, a blog post addressing specific pain points or interests of your audience can generate more comments, shares, and interactions. All right, so then also enhance connection. So tailored content helps build a stronger connection between you and your audience by showing that you understand and value their unique needs and experiences. So, for example, using personalized greetings or references to common challenges makes readers feel understood and acknowledged. Okay, so then improve retention. So when we talk about retention, we think loyalty, right? So it brings loyalty. When content consistently meets the needs and preferences of your audience, they are more likely to return for more. And I think a key word there is consistency, right? You want to consistently show up for your audience so that they know that you're there for them, essentially. That's the best way for me to put it. Okay, so this increases reader loyalty and encourages long-term engagement. So for example, regularly delivering valuable and relevant content keeps your audience coming back and builds trust over time, right? All right, so better content performance. So what that looks like is Tailored content generally performs better across various metrics, such as click-through rates, time spent on page, and social shares. So when you're tailoring your content to meet your audience, you'll start to see that your content is performing better than when you were just randomly posting and ghosting, right? You would post something and you would not engage with your audience, or it had nothing to do with the content or with the topic of your book or your author brand. Okay. All right. And then increased reach. So what that looks like is content that resonates with your audience is more likely to be shared, expanding you to their audience. It's expanding your reach. You're attracting new readers who are similar to your existing audience. And then efficient use of resources. So if you could think about a time where you spent thousands of dollars or hundreds maybe on um, what is it called, on a photo shoot, or going to content museums. There's one in Virginia, it's like a content museum. You can go in there and you can like shoot different content clips. Or if you just spend hours on Canva or whatever your preference of creating your graphics, and you spend hours and hours, but you never use it, or you never really just see it get the reach that you would like. Now, when you tailor your content to meet your audience, you will see that you have efficient use of those resources. So tailoring your content allows you to use your resources more efficiently by focusing on creating content that is more likely to yield positive results rather than producing generic material that may not perform well. Okay. All right. So here are some steps to tailoring your content. Understanding your audience's need. That's very important. Start by recognizing the main challenges and pain points that your audience face. Tailor your content to address these specific issues, providing solutions and insights that resonate with them. So for example, if your audience is struggling with time management, right? I used Sally a little while ago as who my ideal reader is, a 20-year-old mom who's trying to get better at managing her time so that she can show up as the best mom possible. So if your audience is struggling with time management, create content that offers practical tips and strategies to help them with time management. So think about the message of your book, right? Think about what it is you want readers to walk away learning from reading your book, and you build content off of that message. Okay, so use the right tone and style. That's very important. So adjust the tone and style of your content to align with how your audience prefers to communicate. If they appreciate a casual and informal approach, keep your language light and conversational, right? So not everybody wants to be preached at or preached to. Not everybody wants to have a casual conversation. So you really need to understand the tone and style of your audience and how it's best to communicate with them. Okay. Focus on their motivation. So tailor your content to reflect on Tell your content to reflect the goals and motivations of your audience, whether they're seeking career advancement, personal growth, or entertainment. Ensure your content helps them move closer to achieving these goals. So, for example, if your audience is interested in self-improvement, create content that offers tips on personal development and success stories that they can relate to. Okay, and then deliver content in their preferred method, right? So different audiences prefer different formats for content. Some may enjoy reading, some like to watch reels or videos, some like podcasts. So tailor your content to match your audience's preference. That's very important too. All right. And then personalize your content. So make it relevant. Use what you know about your audience to make your content feel personal and directly relevant to them. Address them directly, reference their specific challenges, and make them feel like you understand their needs. And then measure and adjust. This is very important. So keep track of how your audience interacts with your content. Use metrics like likes, shares, comments, feedback to see what resonates most. Adjust your content strategy based on the data to better serve your audience. So it's always good. I say you could do this once a week, bi-weekly, or monthly, go in and measure how well your content perform. All right. why engagement matters, right? So engaging with your audience goes beyond simply sharing content. It involves creating meaningful interactions that build relationships, foster loyalty, encourage ongoing dialogue. Effective engagement transforms passive readers into active participants, creating a community around your work and enhancing the overall impact of your content. Okay. So encourage interaction. So ask questions, pose questions that invite your audience to share their thoughts, experiences, or opinions. This not only encourages participation, but also provides valuable insights into their preferences and needs. So, for example, what challenges have you faced in your writing journey? Share your experiences in the comments below, right? So that's an engaging question that you can ask. Respond promptly, right? So I mentioned this a few times. Don't just post and ghost. Respond promptly to your audience. Make it a priority to respond to comments, messages, and feedback in a timely manner. And I know we're busy. A lot of us still work full-time jobs. So select like 1 or 2 days a week where you say, hey, these are the days that I'm going to focus on engaging, responding back to messages, responding back to emails, um, responding back to comments, right? So you want to set that time aside. It's very important as you continue to build your community. Okay, so a quick example, and you know what you can do? Like, honestly, you don't want to make it generic, but as you spend time trying to grow and you realize like time is not maybe always on your side when it comes to like social media, because I think sometimes that can be a full-time job itself. You can use like just an example. Thank you for your comment. I'm glad you found the tips helpful. Do you have any other questions about the topics? Of course, make it relevant to whatever that content piece is, but do something simple in the beginning. And then when you have time to go back and engage more, then you can do that. All right, create interactive content. So use polls and surveys. That's a good thing to do. So for example, take our quick survey to let us know what topic you'd like to see covered next, right? Host live events, organize live events such as webinars, Q&A sessions, or virtual book tours. So you can interact with your audience in real time. Share user-generated content. So this is one that I really like. So with the user-generated content, what that means is that you're creating content that they can reshare. Your like quotes, they're able to reshare those things because it really relates to them. Build a community, right? So foster connections, create spaces where your audience can connect with each other, such as forums, social communities, or social media groups. Provide exclusive content. So this is a great way to build your newsletter list. So give your engaged audience access to exclusive content, early releases, or special offers as a reward for their participation. So like I said, signing up for your newsletter or blog. Okay. And then provide exclusive content, seek feedback and act on it. That's very important as well. Okay. All right, so a quick exercise that you can do engaging with your audience. So identify different engagement opportunities. So select a piece of content that you've already created or plan to create. This could be a blog post, social media update, email newsletter, or any other content relevant to your work. And then spend a couple minutes considering how you can enhance that content. Think about, now that you've gone through the webinar, think about your audience interests, preferences, and how they might encourage, how you may be able to encourage interaction. Okay. All right. Draft engagement actions. So participate. Well, you want to do this by writing down 1 or 2 specific actions that you could take to boost engagements with your content. So for example, you may host a live Q&A, create an interactive poll, or ask a question. Okay. And then share and discuss. Once you figured out what you're going to do, you want to share and discuss it. All right. Well, thank you so much for jumping on tonight. This has been something that's very important for us to really identify and know the importance of building your target audience or identifying your target audience so that you can create content relevant to your audience so that you can really grow and share and make an impact with your book. All right. As always, connect with us on the Authors Impact Hub. You can follow us on Instagram, and that is at Authors Impact Hub. And then join our growing community on Facebook if you have not already followed. It's the Authors Impact Hub. And then you can also visit www.theauthorsimpacthub.com to get more webinars, check out some blogs and other resources that we have there to help you grow make an impact and profits with your author brand. Thank you for joining. Take care.